Many of us want to improve. We want to grow as people. We seek success in our work, our health, and our lives. This desire for betterment is a common human experience. It pushes us to learn new things and achieve our goals. However, the path to growth is not always easy. It often feels like there is an internal struggle. We face choices every day. These choices determine if we move forward or stay the same. Understanding what drives us is the first step. Two powerful forces play a big role in this journey. These forces are motivation and discipline. They often seem like they are on opposite sides. Motivation can feel like a sudden burst of energy. Discipline feels more like a steady, guiding hand. Both can help us, but they work in very different ways. Knowing how they operate is key to using them effectively. This understanding can change how we approach our goals. It can make the difference between starting and finishing. This essay will explore these two important concepts. We will look closely at motivation. We will see what it is and how it helps us. We will also see its limits. Then, we will examine discipline. We will understand its strength and consistency. We will compare motivation and discipline directly. More importantly, we will discover how they can work together. This partnership can lead to powerful personal growth. Understanding this dynamic is vital. It is crucial for anyone who wants to achieve meaningful goals. It is for those who want results that last. Relying on only one of these forces can lead to frustration. Learning to use both can unlock new levels of achievement. It helps us build habits that stick. It allows us to make consistent progress. This knowledge empowers us to take control of our personal development. It guides us on the path to becoming who we want to be. Motivation is the feeling that makes you want to do something. It is the reason behind your actions. Think of it as an internal desire or enthusiasm. It is the why that gets you started. When you feel motivated, tasks often seem easier. You might feel excited or inspired to take on a new challenge. This feeling can be very powerful. It often appears when we see a clear reward or a positive outcome. Motivation is the spark that ignites the fire of action. The nature of motivation is deeply emotional. It connects to how we feel. Positive emotions like excitement, hope, or passion can fuel motivation. For example, watching an inspiring movie might motivate you to pursue a dream. Reading a success story might make you want to start your own project. This emotional connection is what gives motivation its initial power. It makes us feel capable and eager. It provides a strong push to begin a journey or a task. This initial burst of energy is a significant benefit of motivation. It helps overcome inertia, which is the tendency to do nothing or remain unchanged. Starting something new often requires a lot of energy. Motivation provides this energy. It makes the first steps feel less daunting. Think about New Year's resolutions. People often feel highly motivated at the start of a new year. This motivation helps them join a gym or learn a new skill. It's a powerful kickstarter. We see motivation at play in many situations. When you decide to learn a new language before a trip, motivation is high. When a deadline approaches for an important project, motivation can surge. After attending an inspiring conference or workshop, you might feel a strong urge to implement new ideas. This feeling is wonderful. It makes work feel less like work. However, this powerful feeling is not always constant. It can change with our mood and circumstances. One of the main challenges with motivation is its unpredictability. It can arrive suddenly, filling you with energy and purpose, but just as quickly, it can disappear. You might wake up one day feeling ready to conquer the world. The next day, that feeling might be gone, replaced by tiredness or disinterest. This inconsistency makes motivation an unreliable partner for long-term goals. It is like a friend who is only there when things are good and easy. Motivation is heavily dependent on our moods and external circumstances. If you have a bad day at work, your motivation to exercise in the evening might vanish. If you receive negative feedback, your enthusiasm for a project can decrease. Even small things like feeling tired or hungry can affect your motivational levels. It thrives on positive feelings and favorable conditions. When things get tough or boring, motivation often takes a back seat. This makes it difficult to rely on consistently. This dependence creates significant limitations. If we only work when we feel motivated, our progress will be sporadic. We might start many things but finish very few. Important tasks that require sustained effort might get neglected. This feel-like-it approach to work and goals leads to inconsistent results. Long-term success rarely comes from doing things only when you are in the mood. It requires a more stable and dependable force to keep you going. Therefore, while motivation is an excellent starter, it is not a sustainable force on its own. Think of motivation as a sprinter. It is fast and powerful for short distances. However, achieving big goals is usually a marathon, not a sprint. It requires endurance and consistency over a long period. Motivation can give you a great start in the race, but it cannot carry you all the way to the finish line, especially when the track gets challenging. Discipline, in contrast to motivation, is about consistent action. It's the practice of training yourself to do things in a controlled and regular way. It means showing up and doing the work even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is not about waiting for the right mood. It is about creating habits and sticking to them. It is the commitment to a process. This commitment helps you move forward steadily towards your goals. Discipline is about doing what needs to be done. The core elements of discipline are consistency, structure, and the development of long-term habits. Consistency means performing actions regularly, day in and day out. Structure involves creating a plan or a system that guides your actions. This could be a daily schedule or a specific routine. Long-term habits are behaviors that become automatic over time through repetition. Discipline helps you build these systems and habits. It is less about grand gestures and more about small, repeated efforts. Discipline operates independently of your emotions. This is one of its greatest strengths. Whether you feel excited, tired, bored, or uninspired, discipline ensures you follow through on your commitments. It is about what you do, not how you feel about doing it. This detachment from fleeting emotions makes discipline a much more reliable force. It understands that feelings change, but commitments should remain steady. This allows for consistent progress. Building discipline is an active process. It is not something you are born with or something you find. It is a skill that you develop through conscious effort and practice. Like strengthening a muscle, it requires regular exercise. It might feel difficult at first. You might resist the structure or the routine, but over time, as you practice discipline, it becomes easier. It becomes a part of who you are and how you operate. Discipline's power forging ahead regardless of feelings. The true power of discipline lies in its ability to function regardless of your emotional state. Motivation relies on feeling good to act. Discipline, however, allows you to act even when you feel bad, tired, or uninspired. This is a crucial difference. Life is full of ups and downs. There will be many days when you don't feel motivated. On those days, discipline is what keeps you on track. It ensures that your progress doesn't stop when your enthusiasm fades. Discipline builds resilience. It teaches you to push through boredom, difficulty, and setbacks. When you consistently do things that are hard or uncomfortable, you build mental toughness. This resilience is invaluable. It helps you handle challenges more effectively. It allows you to persist when others might give up. Each time you choose discipline over comfort, you strengthen your resolve. This ability to endure is a hallmark of successful individuals. Because discipline ensures consistent action, it leads to real, tangible results. Success is often the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. Discipline is the engine that drives these daily actions. Whether it's writing a few pages every day, exercising regularly, or practicing a skill, these consistent efforts compound over time. This compounding effect leads to significant achievements. It is the slow, steady progress of discipline that ultimately creates breakthroughs. It is important to acknowledge that developing discipline can be challenging. It often requires going against your natural inclinations. It might mean choosing the harder path. It can feel restrictive or demanding at first. However, the rewards of the discipline far outweigh the initial discomfort. It brings freedom from the whims of emotion. It brings the satisfaction of consistent progress. It brings the achievement of long-term goals. Discipline is tough to build, but it builds a tougher you. The Showdown motivations, bright flash versus discipline's enduring fire. Let's directly compare motivation and discipline to understand their roles better. Motivation is like a flash of lightning. It is incredibly bright, powerful, and energizing. It can illuminate your path and give you a sudden surge to move forward. However, like lightning, it is often short-lived. It strikes and then it's gone, leaving you waiting for the next unpredictable flash. It is exciting, but you cannot rely on it to light your way for a long journey. Discipline, on the other hand, is like a steadily burning fire. It might not have the same sudden intensity as a lightning flash, but it provides consistent warmth and light. It endures through the night, regardless of the weather. You can rely on this fire to keep you going. It is predictable and sustainable. This steady burn is what allows you to navigate the long, often dark path towards your significant goals. It provides constant energy. When it comes to achieving long-term goals, discipline is far more reliable than motivation. Most worthwhile achievements require sustained effort over weeks, months, or even years. Motivation alone cannot carry you through such extended periods. It will inevitably fade during difficult or tedious phases. Discipline, however, is built for the long haul. It ensures that you keep making progress step by step, even when the initial excitement is long gone. Consistency, driven by discipline, consistently outperforms sporadic bursts of intensity. Relying solely on motivation often leads to a trail of unfinished projects and unfulfilled potential. We start with great enthusiasm, but when motivation wanes, we stop. This cycle can be frustrating and demoralizing. Discipline breaks this cycle. It helps build momentum. Each act of discipline reinforces the habit and makes the next act easier. This creates a positive feedback loop where consistent action leads to results, which in turn can sometimes even fuel a more stable form of motivation. The unbeatable team. Motivation as the starter, discipline as the finisher. The discussion about discipline versus motivation should not always be about choosing one over the other. In fact, they can form an unbeatable team. Each has a distinct role to play in personal growth and achievement. Understanding how to leverage both can lead to more effective and sustainable progress. It is not about an either-or situation. It is about a both-and approach. Both forces have value when used correctly. Think of motivation as the strategic starter. Its emotional power is perfect for initiating new tasks or habits. When you feel a wave of motivation, use it. Let it propel you to take those first crucial steps. Use it to overcome the initial inertia that often keeps us stuck. Motivation can help you sign up for that course, start that difficult project, or make that first call. It gives you the energy to get the ball rolling down the hill. Once motivation has done its job of getting you started, discipline needs to take over. Discipline is the finisher. It is the force that ensures you continue the journey, especially when the path becomes steep or motivation fades. After the initial burst of enthusiasm subsides, discipline makes sure you keep showing up. It maintains the routines and habits that motivation helped to ignite. Discipline keeps the ball rolling even when the initial push is a distant memory. This combination creates a powerful synergy for success. Motivation provides the get up and go. It breaks through procrastination and gets you into action. Discipline provides the keep going. It builds consistency and ensures that your efforts are sustained over time. By using motivation to start and discipline to continue, you harness the best of both worlds. This balanced approach makes achieving your goals more manageable and much more likely. It turns fleeting interest into lasting change. Building your discipline. Muscle small steps to monumental changes. Think of discipline not as a fixed trait, but as a muscle. Like any muscle in your body, it can be strengthened with practice and consistent effort. If you try to lift too much weight too soon, you risk injury or burnout. Similarly, if you try to become incredibly disciplined overnight in all areas of your life, you are likely to fail. The key is to start small. This approach makes the process less daunting and more sustainable. One practical way to build discipline is to focus on one small habit at a time. Instead of trying to overhaul your entire life, choose one specific area you want to improve. Then, make the initial habit incredibly easy to do. You could use the 2-minute rule. This means scaling down any new habit to something that takes less than 2 minutes to complete. For example, read 1 page instead of read a book, or put on my running shoes instead of run 5 miles. This makes it easy to show up. Consistency is more important than intensity, especially when you are first building discipline. Showing up every day, even for a very short period, is more effective than making occasional, heroic efforts. The goal is to make the behavior automatic. Daily practice, no matter how small, reinforces the neural pathways in your brain. This makes the habit easier to perform over time. Small, consistent actions build a foundation of discipline that you can then gradually expand upon. Tracking your progress and celebrating small wins are also important. When you see that you are making progress, it reinforces the behavior. It can provide a sense of accomplishment that fuels further effort. This doesn't mean you need elaborate reward systems. Sometimes just acknowledging your consistency with a simple check mark on a calendar can be satisfying. These small acknowledgements help to solidify the habit and make the process of building discipline more enjoyable and motivating in its own right. Cultivating consistency, the power of routines and systems for lasting success. Establishing routines is a powerful way to support and cultivate discipline. Routines are pre-decided sequences of actions. They automate your decisions. When you have a routine, you don't need to spend mental energy deciding what to do next. You simply follow the steps you've already laid out. This reduces the reliance on willpower or fluctuating motivation. The routine itself becomes the trigger for action, making consistency much easier to achieve. You can implement simple routines in various parts of your life. For example, a morning routine might involve waking up at the same time, hydrating, doing some light exercise, and planning your day. This sets a productive tone. A pre-work routine could help you transition into focused work. An evening routine might include tidying up, reading, and preparing for the next day, promoting rest and readiness. These structured sequences guide your behavior and reinforce discipline naturally. Beyond routines, think about building systems rather than just focusing on goals. A goal is a desired outcome. A system is the process you follow that will lead to that outcome. For instance, if your goal is to write a book, your system might be to write 500 words every day. Discipline is the act of adhering to your system. Good systems make good results almost inevitable because they focus on the process, not just the end point. They help you make consistent progress. In conclusion, while motivation can be a wonderful catalyst, providing the initial spark for change, it is discipline that forms the bedrock of sustained progress and lasting achievement. Motivation might get you to the starting line, but discipline carries you across the finish line and then onto the next race. By understanding the roles of both, by strategically using motivation, and most importantly, by consciously building your discipline muscle through small habits and consistent routines, you create an unshakable foundation for lifelong success and personal growth.